This meeting is being recorded.
Yes. Okay, awesome. And then feel free, I am gonna run a PowerPoint presentation. Feel free to jump out and ask questions as they come up, or we can wait until the end. I really don't mind either way. We're a pretty small group. We're like 9 people. And I just want to point out that we have a couple of Sustainable Quality Award past winner mentors here. We have Mitch from Capital Intelligence Associates, won grand prize 2015, a few years ago. Jim from Back on the Beach restaurant cafe that won SQA grand prize in 2019. And both of these fine people are available to assist with questions, just to mentor you through the process. We have a couple of other mentors as well. So I'll go about that. I'll mention that in more detail during the presentation, but past winners are here to help as well as I am. Okay, so if we're all good to go, I'm going to share the screen and you'll probably just see my face, but no one else's. Here we go. And we're back up here. Sorry, here we go. Okay, everybody can see that okay? Great. And then, yeah, please mute as well, unless you have a question. Okay, we're gonna get started. So Sustainable Quality Award, it's businesses putting sustainable practices into action. And this award has been happening since for quite a few years, over 25 years. Here's what we're gonna be talking about today. Here's the agenda, the history. I'll go through the benefits, the awards event, a city ordinance for transportation to help reduce climate-related emissions, the application and categories, past winners. We're going to highlight a few past winners and mentors available, and then important dates. Here we are. Okay, so this program was developed in 1995. The same year that Santa Monica launched its Sustainable City Plan. One of the first cities in I'm pretty sure it's the first city in the US to have a sustainable city plan, going way back over 25 years ago. So Santa Monica itself, is a very forward-thinking business. And I have 2 more people here. There we go. Okay, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining. We just got started. Okay, so SQA has been around for a long time with Santa Monica developing its Sustainable City Plan since 1995. A little more history. The Sustainable Quality Award is one of the oldest and most recognized sustainable business award programs in Southern California. I think Santa Barbara started one just before. And since 1995, we recognized 163 businesses with over 200 awards. And that's because businesses can win multiple times in a row. One more person here. So if you've won an SQA grand prize, we ask that businesses wait 5 years before applying again, but businesses are welcome to apply in one category multiple years in a row. There's no limit to the business winners. As long as you score well, we have a team of judges that score the applications. So there is we don't just issue one grand prize or one excellence award for each category. Multiple businesses can win. Last year we recognized 8 businesses. So multiple awards. Okay, and Sustainable Quality Award benefits. These benefits are mostly for the winners, but applicants do also receive a few bonuses. If you're an award winner, you get the logo, graphic, window decal for your promotional use as needed. We highlight you in local press, social media. Santa Monica has a Sustainable SAMO monthly newsletter that goes out to over 7,000 recipients. You are highlighted in that newsletter for a couple of months. You're listed on the smsqa.com winners directory, which you'll see the other 163 winners there. The SQAs, every year the city puts together a sizzler video featuring last year's winners. And so you would get featured on a city video, and that video is not only shown at the SQA event, the city shows it, you know, in several capacities around the country, featuring their sustainability initiatives. You're acknowledged by the Sustainable Santa Monica community, stakeholders, city council. You receive a city and state commendation scrolls. And winning the award just distinguishes your businesses from others. And also you get to connect with prevalent Santa Monica customers, especially those that are really into sustainability. So these are just some of the few, and welcome, one more person just joined. Hi, Sarah. These are just one of the few benefits to winning an SQA. I've recorded this video as well, and I'll be sending out the link. Okay, so the Sustainable Quality Award event. Yes, the event, when it was in person, we typically had over between 250 and 300 people attend. The event is one of the staple Sustainable Santa Monica events of the year. The event started with a networking power hour, and then we would continue with the award ceremony. High profile keynote speakers. Here are some examples. Not sure what the event will entail this year. The event is going to be end of April. For now, we're tabling it to be virtual, but we really, really hope to have an in-person event as well. And I'll talk about the timeline later on. So the SQA event, you know, really is one of the staples, and it's just usually after Earth Day. Okay, so part of the Sustainable Quality Award eligibility, we're going to be, after today's presentation, that we do screen businesses to make sure that you have a business license and that you're in compliance with all local, state ordinances. Pretty sure most of you are, but one of the, so we will be checking on those things. But one of the ordinances, and I believe it applies to very few businesses that are nominated this year, but I do want to talk about the Go Samo Transportation Management Ordinance. So the city does have an ordinance for businesses. It's more so for businesses with over 50 employees. It just got raised from 30 to 50 due to COVID. But a lot of businesses struggle with getting employees to commute to work sustainably. So I'm just going to share some resources anyway. Even if you're a smaller business with less than 50 employees, this is a free resource for you. So I just want to share a few facts. You know, we're driving less to work these days, but transportation is the largest source of GHG emissions in Santa Monica. Fact. Okay, just typically, you know, again, these numbers are from pre-COVID, but LA workers spend over 80 hours a year just stuck in traffic. And that's not commuting, that's just idling in your car, being stuck in traffic. And these are all from the Go Samo organization. So the Transportation Demand Management City Ordinance, these are some requirements. Again, for businesses with over 50 employees, you do have to ensure somebody on your team is a certified employee transportation coordinator. They provide the course. You have to survey your employees about how they get to work and create a plan that increases the number of people walking, biking, not driving in a single vehicle going to work. This number, if you do survey employees, you end up with, and the city will help you with this too, it's an AVR, average vehicle ridership number. It's based on the number of people that come to your workplace that drive alone. They make a calculation and then you get a number from that. And so there is a target that you want to achieve. So for those of you that have over 50 employees at your one location, you do have to be in touch with these guys and apply and be in compliance with this ordinance. This is one big thing that we check. And there are a few questions regarding transportation. Okay, so gosamo.org, and I have their contact information, but basically this department of the city is here to help you implement more sustainable transportation measures. Okay, it's free assistance. There's no charge to get the assistance. They help you. There's materials. They have a monthly newsletter. They have lunch and learns where you can attend. For businesses with over employees, I want to highlight there is a fee to be in compliance, unfortunately, to help fund these efforts. But again, the fee is only charged if you have over 50 employees and you need to comply with the ordinance. Okay, couple more things on this. What you can do to encourage sustainable travel at your work site. You can schedule a meeting with the Go Samo people. The meeting will be virtual. They'll share some resources. They issue free tap cards here, right there. And they just help you find ways to incentivize and encourage your staff to get to work without driving alone in one vehicle. That's the long and short of that. Okay, here's the team. Parama, you can contact Pooja or Parama. I know Parama is the on-site staff person. There we go. And it's worth reaching out to them and investigating the resources. Okay. That's it on the Go Samo Transportation Management Organization and Ordinance. Any questions? Okay. Okay, here is the Sustainable Quality Award breakdown. So most of you know, if you don't, the award is issued, there's 3 sections or categories to the award: economic development, social responsibility, stewardship of the natural environment. You can apply to 1 or more categories. If you apply in all 3 categories, you have the opportunity to win the grand prize. And specifically, grand prize winners are featured in the Sustainable Quality Award Sizzler Reel, not the excellence winners. So there is an incentive to go for the grand prize, and there's more. You are highlighted, you know, a little bit more if you are a grand prize winner. So, but you know, it is more work. But some businesses apply for the grand prize. They give it, just like with Mitch from Capital Intelligence, they apply for grand prize in the first go. You apply all 3 categories. You may win in one or 2. You may win in all 3. I recall Mitch didn't win the first year he applied, but subsequently you are provided with really great detailed feedback from the judges. I make the judges give me feedback as to why this business did not score high enough and what they can do to score better and be more sustainable. So you are provided with really great feedback. Mitch took that feedback, applied again the subsequent year, right, Mitch? And you won the grand prize. So however you want to do it, whatever is best for you. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to just touch upon each area and then highlight some businesses that have won in the past. So economic development. We have revised the application a little bit this year. We didn't issue applications and score businesses last year due to very obvious reasons, but we're fully back this year. So haven't taken a year off with so much happening. We've revised this section a little bit, but economic development is basically committing to the long-term economic sustainability of your operations. So how do you keep your business in business? And then how do you support the local and regional economy? So it's twofold. How do you keep your business in business? How do you remain competitive? How do you change your services based on customer needs? How do you survey your customers? There's a bunch of questions that you're asked about this, but just think it's about your business and then about how you support local economy. Local economy being Santa Monica. So if you're a business located in Los Angeles and you're applying for this Sustainable Quality Award, how does your Los Angeles business support the local Santa Monica economy? This award really is focused on, it's a Santa Monica, it's a Santa Monica area award. So businesses located outside of Santa Monica, if they're a part of the Santa Monica Chamber and they work within the city of Santa Monica, you can totally still apply. Answer your questions based on how you support the local Santa Monica economy, not Los Angeles, for example, okay? We've added this year, we had to add a few questions based on economic resiliency and recovery. So if you're still in business after the last 2 years, well done, like, yay. Incorporate, the judges want to hear, how did you stay in business? How did you stay resilient? How did you recover? How are you still recovering? Okay, that's economic development. So I will mention the application is now live. Woohoo! So if you go to smsqa.com, you can look at the questions. I'm not gonna give you the password just yet. I'll give it towards the end, but this is live and you can check this out. You'll see it's about 11 questions. It's an online application. 11 questions. 4 are multiple choice. So you tick boxes. There's a box for other. Use that box anytime you can. Judges like to read. Judges want to read details. So if you have something outside of the checkbox, hit the other button, write about it. In the other button, you can also write about any points you want to stress for any of the bullets, okay? So I'm doing this not to scare you. It's 11 questions, 4 are multiple choice, 4 are straight up written answers. You have to provide a narrative, okay? And 3 questions ask you to upload documentation. You really need to do both. You need to, check your boxes. You need to write detailed narratives, preferably not copy and paste stuff from your website, like narratives that pertain to the question, and upload documentation. And I'll go through what kind of documentation further down the road. Okay, economic development. Any questions on that? All right. I appreciate people with the videos on, because like giving me eyeballs, because I can see that I've got some attention. So thank you to video on people, and no malice for video off people. Okay. Social responsibility. This section is about people. It's about how you take care of your employees and how you take care of underrepresented people in the community. Okay. Twofold. With some civil unrest that happened in 2020, we've also expanded this section to ask about what changes you made to ensure that you support diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, a really important term these days, okay? So commitment to sustaining human resources within your organization and the local community. What are underrepresented members of local community? Non-English speaking people, students. Do you provide internships? Do you partner with an organization to help employ at-risk people or at-risk youth? Any partnerships with local charities here? And of course, how do you support local charities? How do you support them? Detailing numbers, like how much money do you give annually, or how much money have you given so far? If you don't have that much data, how much money have you donated in the last year? There are a few questions about supporting local charities. Provide as many details as you can. You can't just say we partner with Big Brothers and Big Sisters or Meals on Wheels. You can't just say that. You have to say, how do you support them? Is it pro bono hours? If so, how many pro bono hours? If it's money, how much? Okay, so details really are key. Social responsibility has 11 questions. 6 are checkbox answers, and 5 you need to provide written answers. Always, and then a couple, again, there's always this upload documentation. Uploading documentation is key, but you can't just upload the documentation, you have to provide a narrative. Okay, judges want to read, and then you support with uploading documentation. That is social responsibility in a nutshell. Okay, the third category is stewardship of the environment, which, people often think it's the only pillar of sustainability. It's not. Sustainability is the three pillars, right? Equity, economy, environment. So environment, just really simply, how does your business commit to sustaining the natural environment? And again, it's twofold. It's never just about your business. It's about, okay, what do you do within the walls of your business? And then what do you do for the environmental community of Santa Monica? Do you support environmental nonprofits? Do you partner with environmental nonprofits? Do you plant trees? Do you have your employees do a beach cleanup annually? So it's always about, each section is like, how does your business do it? And then how do you support the community in that section? Okay. So this section is pretty straightforward. It's a few more questions about, it's 13 application questions involving energy, water efficiency, purchasing, details on if you purchase recycled content paper, recycled content paper towels, green cleaning chemicals. There are a few questions about that. Write about them, upload a picture, whatever you can. If you have an environmental purchasing policy, for those of you that are Green Business certified, when my team worked with you, we helped you create an environmental company policy. And in that policy is a section about purchasing. We commit to purchasing eco-friendly chemicals. We commit to purchasing recycled content, all that stuff, LEDs, like whatever it is. So just document all that you can with pictures or with like a previous purchase order, for example. Okay, so 13 questions total. 9 are just check boxes, 4 written answers. Of course, provide documentation. Utility bills, if you can, tracking sheet, however you can do it. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, we're doing good. Okay, on to the next one. All right, so the nitty gritty. So the application should be live. If you have any questions, of course, I'm your main contact. Okay, smsqa.com. You're going to go there. There should be a button. The nominate button should have been replaced with apply, but nominations, by the way, are open until midnight tonight. So somewhere on there, you'll see a button that says apply. Click that button. Okay, and you're going to enter this password, simply SQA 2022, all caps. Okay, a few things about the platform for the SQA application. You're going to submit it online, save as you go. You can enter your answers, save, come back, edit later. The first thing you're going to have to do when you hit the password is you're going to have to create an account. If you applied in the past, if you specifically applied for your business in the past, you're going to enter your email. If you forgot your password, you can hit forgot password, it'll send you a new one. So if you've already applied, enter your email and just stick with the same email. If you're new, you'll have to create an account, email address, password, etc. Don't lose your password. Okay, enter these details. You're going to hit register, and then you'll proceed to, and then it's going to ask you what areas do you want to apply in. I believe you can select all 3 and then review everything, delete the sections later. It should be pretty straightforward, but you should have access. It will ask you what areas are you going to be applying in, and only the category you're selecting will turn up. Okay, I believe. If you have any issues, we can help you with that. So the first step is to log in, create an account. And then of course, it's 650 words limit for those questions. We have to provide a narrative. And attaching documents, there is a max for, it's pretty large, but there's multiple, you can upload a document in several questions for each section, not just one. Okay. Preferably use Chrome or Firefox. Internet Explorer, I mean, I don't, if occasionally people, if you use Internet Explorer, it won't work. So just one of those two. And there's your password right there, SQA 2022. Okay. Okay. So what are judges looking for? Okay, just really simply, just 4 things. And this is all on the application header page as well. It's when you write your narrative, when you write your answers, you want to tell your story. So you know, somewhere, especially in question number 1, you know, how did you embark upon your business? Why did you, you know, decide to do all of the sustainable measures that you're doing? So talk about your story. Did you start from scratch when you opened your business? Did you implement it later on? They want to really just hear your story, not just a bunch of bullet points. They want to see innovation. How are you innovative? How do you stand out amongst other businesses in your sector? They want to see that you're committed, you know, not that you just started doing these things last month when you started writing your SQA application, but have you been doing these measures preferably for more than a couple of years? You know, if it's been 20 years, even better. So that's really key. If you just started, you know, implementing an equity policy, that may not cut it. And then documented results. I can't stress that anymore. They want to see samples and, you know, documentation that you're doing all of these measures, because, you know, you are applying online. Nobody is going to, you know, visit your business and, you know, double check on what you're saying. So the more documentation, the better. Okay, I'm going to highlight some past, mostly past grand prize winner highlights, recent grand prize winners, like I tried to choose in the last like 5 or 6 years. Okay, here are the businesses I'm going to be highlighting. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start with Back on the Beach, and Jim and Fred are here attending. Thanks for attending and available to assist. So Back on the Beach Cafe, they won Sustainable Quality Award Grand Prize in 2019. And just a few things. I'm sorry, just a few things in the chat. I can't. Sorry, just going to answer a few questions. This award, Sarah, this award is not for Santa Monica-based businesses. You can apply if you're outside of Santa Monica, but you need to focus your answers on how your business is involved with and supports the local Santa Monica community. Okay, I just want to address that. And if you're a Santa Monica Chamber, you do have to be a Santa Monica Chamber member as well, because this is an award program in partnership with Sustainable Works, Santa Monica, and the City of Santa Monica. Okay, and the application will be, and I'm so sorry, I just want to correct myself. The application button will be added tomorrow morning to smsqa.com after the nomination period closes. So I'm sorry, it's not live right now. It'll be live tomorrow morning. Okay, Back on the Beach. So why did they win a grand prize? They have been in business since 1989. That's one reason. So if you're, you know, in business for over 30 years, you're doing something right, especially being a food service business, you know, a little more challenging, especially in the last 2 years. So first thing, they've been in business for over 30 years, and they really stress that in each section of their application. They said their story. We've been in business since 1989. They're very active. They're a very active business within the Santa Monica community, very supportive, active with the Buy Local Santa Monica campaign, the Santa Monica Chamber. They're active with Sustainable Works and the Sustainable Santa Monica Department, and social responsibility. So, you know, they're not a huge business. They're medium size, but, you know, for a restaurant, very rare for a restaurant to provide sick pay and health insurance for their employees. Very few restaurants and food service industries do this. And so they offer sick pay and health insurance, not at full coverage, but at half cost, which is a huge, which is very innovative for a restaurant. They employ a ton of students over their peak summer season. And how do they demonstrate commitment to supporting the community? They give, they donate monetarily. They have helped, they've helped out with many events, many of Sustainable Works in the City events, pro bono hours. They've participated. I mean, if I have a restaurant that needs help or guidance on switching to more compostable containers, Jim says, hey, put them in touch with me. I'm happy to have them come over to the restaurant. And, just going above and beyond with supporting the local community and other businesses. And for the environment, sustainability is featured prominently in their business mission statement. They have been a certified green business, I believe, since about 2011. So at least they've maintained a certification for over a decade. And when the city implemented their sustainable disposable food serviceware ordinance a couple of years ago, Back on the Beach proactively really led the way to eliminating almost all plastics in their to-go-ware. Can you eliminate 100% plastics? It's really hard to eliminate 100%. They're pretty darn close, but they proactively were just a leader in implementing this ordinance and being a leader. And Jim shot a video testimonial with me, and so they've really, you can see this is how they excelled in each of these areas, and they wrote about them, they provided documentation, and that's how they won the grand prize. And Jim, I don't know if you want to add anything to this. I just picked out a few highlights, but feel free.
Yeah, thank you, Susie. Thanks a lot. There's nothing specifically that I wanted to add except to let people know that, especially if you're applying and you're in the food industry business, reach out to me if you have any questions, or if there's any way I can help with the application, etc. Please let me know, and I will offer any help I can.
Thank you. Okay, that's Back on the Beach Cafe. Okay, I'm going to highlight this business, Tradesy Incorporated. Unfortunately, Lisa Boatman, who wrote the application a couple years ago, she's no longer with the company. But I wanted to highlight, I try to highlight diverse, different kinds of businesses. And so this business is a large business, office, kind of like a tech firm. And so I just try to highlight a range. And so this company, they're female owned and operated. That is worth mentioning if you're women owned or LGBTQ owned, any of that stuff. Their mission was to create jobs for women by supporting material recycling and reuse. So they're a resale clothing store, clothes swapping. Women can list their clothing items online for sale or for swapping. And it's just really unique in how their mission was to help create jobs for women, especially women, that are working from home after having a family or whatever. It's a way for women that are from home that can employ themselves with an online or like a virtual work. And so social responsibility, all full-time employees own stock in the company. Every employee, I recall, had, I think, 8 hours per quarter to give back by volunteering or doing some kind of charitable service. And employees were yeah, it was a requirement that each employee give back in some way. They had really great work-life balance policies. You know, all these things are pretty common these days, but remote working, flexible schedules, they were a dog-friendly office, and they had a really great package for staff training and education. For stewardship of the environment, they were also they achieved the Green Business certification. After getting Green Business certified, they reduced water consumption by 22% annually. They implemented an organic waste program, a composting program, you know, way back in 2019, just when the organics ordinance started ramping up. Like as of this month, it's now required for all offices to do this. So they were ahead of the curve. That's what, you know, that demonstrates being ahead. And food recovery. They provided free lunch, I think, to their employees daily, and they made a point to recover food and donate any edible leftovers to Westside Food Bank. Okay, so Tradesy Inc., how they won grand prize a couple of years ago. Okay, and there are a few small businesses that were nominated this year. So I wanted to highlight a recent small business grand prize winner. And I could, a recent one, so I couldn't, the best example I could find is Duvivier Architects. And I wanted to highlight them as well because although they won 2 excellence awards in 2020, they didn't win the grand prize. They won grand prize in 2008 and actually in 2002. They've been around for over 2 decades. But I wanted to highlight them because they're a women-owned business. They're small. They you know, 2 full-time equivalent employees is all they had. It is a little, and so the main reason they didn't win grand prize in 2020 was in the social responsibility section. I just want to highlight that unlike some small businesses, like Mitch, for example, Capital Intelligence Associates, Mitch is a small business. 3 employees, Mitch? 3. And Mitch provides a full medical package for all 3 employees, correct? And so that is why that's a really, if you're a small business, it's a pretty, like the social responsibility judges, they do want to see you take care of your employees. I know it's challenging, especially today, to be a small business, you know, 2 or 3 employees and provide medical benefits, sick pay, vacation to your staff. But I just want to highlight that's a really important, that's a really key thing that the social responsibility judges look for. And so Duvivier Architects, they were no longer able to do this for their staff. And I think they got, that's where they got a little bit dinged. But I do want to highlight that for economic development, the reason they won, they scored really high in economy and environment. They're a women-owned business. First of all, they've been around for over 2 decades. For such a small business, they have a very diversified range of products and services. They do GIS mapping, they do design, they do landscape design. I mean, just such a diverse range of things that they offer. And their services focus on water resources and sustainability, mainly LEED projects, green building, green landscape, etc. And as a result, you know, they get a very diverse range of clients, private residents, schools, they contract with cities, nonprofits, and so diversify how they've stayed in business for 20 years, being such a small firm. And then the owner of the company, Isabelle Duvivier, she really supports her local community and neighborhood. I want to point out she's based in Venice. She's not a Santa Monica business, but she's supported City of Santa Monica in many ways by presenting at city events, Santa Monica College, lecturing, but she supports, so she supports Santa Monica. She also supports the Venice community by joining the local chamber and also by plotting all of the trees in Venice and creating a map of all the trees, for example. Okay. For social responsibility, some great measures. She provides numerous pro bono hours teaching youth, and she provides several internships through her firm. For the environment, I mean, it's pretty obvious why she scored well in the environment. That's the main, it's a main focus of her business. But, you know, she even mentioned details of she repurposes cardboard to create architectural models. So that's, you know, that's little things like that. It may seem little, but they're not little. It's worth mentioning details like that. So repurposing cardboard to create models instead of, you know, wasting new materials. Oops. Okay, and then she works with the AIA, the Architectural Institution of America, I think is who they are, but she works with a local architectural nonprofit, and she supports local charities and communities, again, by donating thousands of pro bono hours. Okay, so it's an example of a small firm, how a small firm can make a big impact and still do very well. Okay, and lastly, I'm highlighting PS1, Pluralistic School #1, PS1 school. They won grand prize in 2018 and 2011. So they're a school, medium-sized business, about 43 full-time equivalent employees. And again, they've been in business for 47 years. They keep a pulse on the latest brain research to assure strength-based educational policies to ensure students will thrive. So they really keep a pulse on education and, you know, various ways to engage students and enhance brains. Social responsibility, they provide free after-school daycare for all employees. They have health and dental policies for all staff that go above and beyond. So again, if you're a medium to large business, if you just provide standard benefits, that might not cut it to win the award. Judges want to see what you provide above and beyond. Okay, so they stressed how their health and dental policies are, you know, above and beyond the norm. And they provide over $1 million annually in financial aid for families in need. And they have a grant assistance program for families. Oops. For stewardship of the environment, environmental sustainability incorporates all aspects of their business, including what they purchase, new construction. They built out a LEED campus recently. Student life, they incorporate it into their curriculum. The school has worm bins and compost bins and planters that the students can get involved with. So environmental sustainability encompasses all, like, not only the buildings, but the curriculum, their whole business model. Something innovative that they did to assist with transportation, they created an online map to facilitate student carpooling. So and this resulted in increasing carpooling by 38%. So families have a really robust carpooling program. Okay, so we highlighted a tech company, a small business, a school, and we're reaching the end here. So just to recap some takeaway points, your checklist for your SQA application in one slide. So again, all nominees can request to connect with a mentor. You do that by reaching out to me. If you want to connect with Jim or Mitch, let me know specifically. If you want to, and otherwise just say you want a mentor, and I will go through my files and try and find the best fit for you, as long as the business is available. So things to look for, or, you know, start creating if you don't have it. A company or employee manual, always worth uploading that. Any utility bill savings, any tracking, any spreadsheets you have. If you have documentation of any renovations you've done or retrofits or any green purchases, any other policies you have on file, you know, upload those to the relevant sections. A list of charitable donations, at least who you donate to, Any numbers, of course, helps, but think of like who do you donate to? Create that list. What companies or what charities do you partner with or work with? Is it the chamber? Is it Sustainable Works? Just put that list, start putting that list together. Any pictures? Pictures say 1,000 words. You still want to write about them? We have, we provide secure staff bicycle parking. A picture of that. If you have a picture of it, snap a picture, upload it. Any sample staff and meeting agendas that may include a sustainability topic, or if you have a green team, any green team meeting agendas, staff reviews. There's a question regarding staff reviews, how often you do them. Good idea to upload samples of those. That's in the economic development section, I believe. Okay, and when the applications do go live, there is an opportunity to review past winning applications by going to smsqa.com. You hit apply, you enter your password, and then there should be a process button that has some sample winning applications. And I'll work with Amanda to make sure that that's still available for viewing. Okay, and if you need help, mostly me, but if you go to smsqa.com and you click contacts, I am, questions about the application. If you have any tech issues, we have Amanda Grossman from the City of Santa Monica. This is the sustainability office. She is the tech help. You can contact Amanda directly or contact me and I'll put you in touch with her. But any tech issues with the online platform, Amanda takes care of those. Okay, and on to my, second last slide. Okay, here are the next upcoming important dates. So today is the nomination deadline. Nominations are open until midnight. If you haven't nominated yourself yet, you have until midnight to do so. And please, feel free to nominate other businesses that you think may be a good fit for this award. It's best to check in with them first, if you can. Otherwise, just nominate them and then I will follow up with them. We have about 12 eligible business nominees so far. 12 is pretty good, but of course we'd love to have more. Applications are due a little over a month from now. It's a Wednesday, February 16th. You have to submit it by 11:59 p.m. Again, submit it online, no extensions. Mid-March, we'll announce the winners. You'll be contacted first, and then we'll be issuing press releases, social media blasts, etc. But we will contact you personally first. While judging takes place as well, make sure you put the contact information for the best person to reach out to if the judges have any questions. Judging usually will take place in early March. And so around early March, you may be contacted if we need more questions. April 27th is earmarked for the virtual awards event. Winners will receive 2 tickets to that, 2 free tickets. Applicants who do not win will receive 1 free ticket. And remember, if you apply, even if you don't win, it's worth applying if you have the bandwidth, because you'll receive some great feedback from judges. And then we are hoping for that we can do an in-person awards event, more of a networking power hour on May the 4th. And that would be, it's generously hosted by Back on the Beach Cafe. It probably, because we can do indoor, outdoor, it's a lovely space. And we can say, may the 4th be with you. So that's the main reason we chose that date. May the 4th be with you, to be very sustainable. And thank you. And now I'll open it up to questions, and I'm bored of my own voice. Any questions? I'm going to check the chat. These slides will be available for reference. Yes. I'm recording them and I will make sure to send out a link. If someone nominated us, yes, if you were nominated, then you do not need to do anything else with the nomination process. I just want to, I will make sure you will know that you were nominated if you receive an email. So if someone else nominated you, you should be receiving an email by midnight tonight confirming that you were nominated. And nothing else has to be done. You will hear from me in the next by next week. You'll hear from me if for some reason there's an issue and you aren't eligible to apply. But eligibility is you have to be in business for at least 2 years, in compliance with all local and state laws, located in Santa Monica, or you're a member of the Santa Monica Chamber of Commerce, and an active business license, Santa Monica business license. Any other questions?
I have a comment just to throw out there.
Sure.
And that is if anyone is going for the grand prize and applying in all 3 or even 2 different categories, there are different judges, I guess, in each category, and I would recommend repeating information if applicable in each and every category, because I found that when we were going through the application process, initially I was thinking, oh, well, this information should be here or in that, but because there's different judges for each category, if there was information, I included it in all 3 categories if it applied remotely to all, any of those sections.
That's a good point. Some judges do read the entire application. It ends up being quite a bit of reading. We do encourage judges to do that, but not all judges do. That's a really good point, Jim. So, oftentimes social responsibility, economic development, some of the questions can connect with each other. And so just best to, include the same narratives and of course, and then edit the narrative to be relevant to the category you're applying for. I think I'm available for questions, calls, anything. The whole point of this award is to, it's to recognize businesses that are doing the sustainability work, going above and beyond. It's to recognize, but also, give you feedback. It's a good way to gauge how you are doing with your sustainability efforts, because unless you share what you're doing, unless you share, there's no way to know how you're doing on the, on the continuum. And we do have, professionals in each of these areas. Each area, environment, equity, and economy, has, there's a city representative. So there's a city staff person that's assigned to be one of the judges for each of those categories. We have a staff person, we have a person from the community, and we have a chamber representative. So each section has, there's 3 judges per section that review your application. Each judge gives a score, they average that score, and that ends up being your final score. And then just a little side note, the scores out of 25 for each section. And I think you need to receive like a 21 or more out of 25 to achieve the excellence award category. So, it's pretty stringent judging, and you will get your score at the end. Everybody gets a score sheet and feedback from the judges.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
Are there points awarded for being a member of the Chamber of Commerce?
There are not, I wouldn't say there's points for that, but you'll like specific points. But being a member will show that you're contributing and that you want to support the local economy. If you're not, so I think it, you know, you can be a chamber member and not attend any of the events or not contribute in any way. I don't know, you know, I don't know how much that would get you, but if you're a chamber member and you support the local businesses, attend local events, I think that's where the extra points come in.
What if you do that, but you're not a chamber member? I only ask because the nonprofit dues are not really affordable for us.
You know, I think it's worth, I don't think it would, I think if you do a lot, if you participate in the Santa Monica community somehow, list all the ways you participate, you know, most loved awards, are you by local member, you know, list all of those. And then I think it's worth noting in one of the questions, we wish we could be unfortunately, we cannot afford the fees to be a Santa Monica Chamber member at this time. I think it's worth noting that.
Okay.
But it does really, I can't say like, you know, I can't say how like if the judge will allocate
points. There are no points, in other words.
Yeah.
So it's not
There's no question that says, are you a Santa Monica Chamber member? It may be in the bullets, but if you're involved in any other way, it's worth pointing that out. There is, I think most of you are involved, but signing up to be a buy local Santa Monica has a buy local campaign that is free, and it's a great way to get involved. That is, I'll put it in the chat right now. If you're not a member of buy local
as a
Santa
Monica green business, I think we are already part of that, and maybe I know the chamber is a volunteer, you know, everybody's very busy, but if they get around to maybe structuring the nonprofit dues according to like the size of the organization, we would certainly join. I'm going on about it only because I see Matt is here today.
Yeah, Matt is here. No, you have
2 cents from the general public.
You have a voice.
Important. I'm not in charge of our membership, but I talk to our membership director all the time. So that's good information to have. Thank you.
Sure.
And I'm not sure how they structure it for school nonprofits. You know, we're a nonprofit, and our dues aren't our dues are doable. So I'm not sure how it works for schools, or, you know, if it's per annual.
Mostly just the different scales of the nonprofits more than the category of the nonprofit I'm talking about.
Right.
Nonprofits don't have any profit to put into. Anyway.
That's right. No, I get it. But I know, I think, I can't recall, most of the grand prize winners the last few years have been chamber members, but I'm pretty sure if I look in the archives, I'm pretty sure that there are some businesses that have won that haven't been chamber members. Depends who the judges are too. Good question. Okay, everyone, it's 11:02, so I'm gonna stop here. Thank you all for attending. I hope it was helpful. And I'm here if you have any questions, and I'm here to support, and thank you for participating, because if no one participates, we won't have an awards event. So I really appreciate all of you attending today. Okay.
Thanks, Susie.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Scott,
Thank
too,
you
for attending and nominating some businesses. Thanks, everyone. Hey, have a great day. Bye.